Hi everyone. Um, I would be explaining you one of the performance issue which I have come across in my experience. So the requirement was to display employee details as an autocomplete. Okay, so some UI similar to this, where there's a UI to allow you to select an employee from employee. The UI should display an employee name as the autocomplete, and user should be able to select it. The employee details was retrieved from a local table, and this table was synced from an external system on a regular basis. But for um, so we would not be explaining you how the sync was done and on. So just assume that there is a table within the application, and using that table we have to display the employee details as an drop down. User should be able to select an employee. Okay, so the catch here is there are 20,000 records, and in my live application there were close to a lakh record, and it was badly designed, where it was causing a lot of performance issues and so on. So I thought I will take this as scenario as an example to explain you how we should implement in such kind of requirement. So I'll be taking you step by step, saying that okay, if you do this, what will happen? If you do this, what will happen, and so on. So for my demo, what I've done is I've created a simple base application, like create an incident with some capturing some fields like label, incident type, incident date, time, description, etc. But yeah, my our primary focus would be assigned to, which is an autocomplete, which allows the user to select the employee. Okay. So already have a base application. So this is the drop down. I've created the case type, everything. So to save our time. So what we'll do is, in fact, even I've created an employee table too. So they have created data type, and having uploaded close to 20,000 records, employee details. It's all dummy, randomly generated employee details. So I would I would upload a link which will contain all the things which is required for you to try out this solution and try out to implement this particular problem by your own. So so this table has close to 20,000 records. So I'll be using this to demo, explain you how it should be implemented. So what I'll do is right now, so I'll open. Hey, the simplest way of implementing this autocomplete is, just use create a data page, and then source the report definition and use it as part of the autocomplete, and yeah, it's done, right? That's the simplest way of doing it. So what I've already done is for this particular property, I've created sourced a data page as source, and then I've created report definition. Should be there, report definition. It's already there. So let me run it and see if it's fetching data. Yeah, it is. So what I've, as I mentioned, it's the simplest way, right? Just create a report definition, create a data page, and refer it as part of the dropdown. But is there any issue with it? Okay, so let many of you closely observe the report definition. So when I run the data page, you see that there are 500 records retrieved. That is only 500 records it retrieved. What about, you know, um, if you see just 500 records, right? What about the remaining records? Okay, what is the reason for that retrieving only 500 records? So if you go to this report definition, by default, the maximum number of records is 500. So let us disable the pagination. Go here. Okay, 500. So let me say, oh, 1000. But if you see our table, I mean, initially as the initial assumption was 1 lakh, right? So should I keep 1 lakh? Is it a good approach? Can I load a data page with 1 lakh records into memory and then use it, keep that for a long time? That's not a good way, right? So you're keeping 1 lakh records of employee data into your clipboard, and then it's a huge amount of data, right? So what should I do then? I cannot increase this, but at the same time, I cannot load the entire data into that. So what should I do, right? So then probably we should see an option where I can filter the records. Okay, so does Pega provide any option to filter the records? Let us go to the the UI where we were actually configuring it. So there is an option, okay, so which you are not able to see. Okay, let me go to the data page and now say search text. Okay, so this is the parameter, whatever user is entering on the UI, I would use pass that as search text to this particular data page, and the same thing would be passed to the report definition to do the search. Okay, let me go to parameters, add the search text as parameter and say okay, say full name contains param dot search text. Okay, so I'll come to this warning. So it says a warning, so let us discuss more on that just shortly. So let me pass the parameter from here to the report definition. So let us go here and say oh, param dot search text. Okay, so I've added the search text parameter to the data page, and now let me go to UI and say add the same thing there. So there is something called you search using the data page parameter. So just check that, which means whatever data which I'm entering in the assigned to field in the UI, so that could be sent as parameter to this particular um, data page. And let me use, so I'm passing it. So employee ID is used and the full name, right? Full name. So it will be shown. Okay, so don't set the value. Okay, it is passing it, and okay, so, so what I've done is now I've created a data page, right? And then which takes the parameter. Let me go to the data page and do a quick test to see if it is retrieving Ben. Okay, Ben is data page and say so. Does it return? Okay. So what I've done is okay. So full name is exposed. Let me see, full name contains, okay, submit might not be saved. Okay, let me say first name contains this or last name contains this. So let me run the report definition quickly to see if it is working. Man, yeah, it's working fine. So, but yeah, only one record? I don't think so. It is and okay, so it should be our condition or okay, there are a lot many records. So let me go to the UI. Let me do a refresh. Ben. Okay, so now we are getting all the bens. Okay. Let me see. Search with something else. Okay. And so it is getting sent and it is retrieving it. But yeah, so if you just closely watch the clipboard for this particular case type, so if you go to the data page, so what we have defined is thread level. You see here, multiple data pages are getting created and a lot of data is there in the clipboard. So from the UI, we don't see any big issues, but if you see, a lot of data is getting retrieved. Okay. So the clipboard is getting occupied. So what I have to do, so there is an option in the data page to say, okay, at any point of time, just limit the data page to single data page, and that would take care of it. So whatever parameters I pass, for each parameter, it doesn't create a different copy of, let me search with Ben and then San. Okay, so there are two things, but let me open the clipboard and see. So now there should be only one copy of data page, which means not much of memory occupies, memory is not getting occupied and so on. Okay, that's good. So that's the things when you're, don't ignore this, try to use this, try to put a thought process to see if you want to maintain multiple data pages for each parameter and so on. If not, just check this. Okay, so now when I go to the report definition, right, let's solve the so it is getting the data and it is getting displayed and so on, but yeah, still there was an warning in this particular report definition. So what is this warning? It says that whenever you use contains, if you use filter contation that is not equal to equals, then it might result in the performance issue. Okay, so if at all, if you're using this contains option, right, so if you create a db index for it in the database, it will not get utilized. So it is always, that's the reason Pega suggests you to always use equals to condition, or there is another condition where it gets used, that is starts with, if you use starts with, the index gets used. Okay, so what we have to do is, instead of using, whenever it is based on the the way user would search for it, right? If you search for San, generally they would search for Susan and so on. Like if they would search for someone's name, say, which starts with, right, they would not say, oh, I want someone's name which starts with M, right? Probably if that is the requirement, you can add an advanced search here and so on. So if that is not the requirement from the client, so most of the time the users would search with starts with, means I want to start search with either the persons or the employees whose first name is like John, or last name has John, right? So that's what they would generally search for. So you can use starts with condition, and so on. So that's it's better to use starts with instead of contains. So if you use starts with, okay, where is the starts with? Starts with, what I'm saying is whatever data which I'm entering here, if I enter John, or so it will search for the employee names with either starts with, the first name starts with John or last name starts with John. Okay, so if you see, there is one unjustified warning which is gone now. There is another warning which says when the search text is empty, try to use null instead of, just to avoid the performance issues. Whenever the user tries to search with without entering anything, let's say user doesn't enter and then is trying to click on drop down, then it will try to search for all the records in the table and then get it, right? So instead of that, so user should search with some entering some data. At the same time, the report definition, you to ensure that use this null if empty has to be checked. Okay, so there is one more warning. Okay, test case. So let's ignore the test case now. Okay, so if you see here now, so if you enter small case, the name in small case, and try to search, it is not coming up, right? That's another issue which you would come across. Let's try to what we have to do is we have to make the search case insensitive. So if at all, if you use ignore case, the most of the developers, what they would do is, for this requirement to work, what I will do is I will do the ignore case. But if you see again, there is a warning which says ignore case might result in poor performance. That is because there is a reason. When you say ignore case, if you have created any database index for searching first name or last name, so that will not get used, and that's the reason it will throw the error. So don't justify the warning saying that ignore case is a requirement and hence we are trying to um, ignore case is a requirement, and I have seen many developers, they justify saying that it's a requirement and then hence I've used ignore case, but there is an alternative to do it. Okay, so if the ignore case is not the option, so how should we implement this? So it is simple, right? So what you do is the column which we are trying to compare. So first thing is that needs to become, before I compare the data which is there in the database, that should be converted to lowercase. For this, you have a function called lowercase. Use that lowercase, pass the column name, and it will convert it to lowercase. Okay, that is at the left hand side. Right hand side, whatever data which is entered by the user on the UI, that needs to be converted to lowercase, and when they are compared, so it will work fine, right? So whatever data which is passed to this report definition or the D page, right? The D page get employee list. So whatever parameter before the parameter is passed to this particular data page, I mean after or before it is passed to this report definition, the search text, whatever is used to do a search, right? That needs to be converted to lowercase, and both the search would work fine. So assuming that the lowercase conversion is happening, and let me try to do a quick unit test to see if the data is getting converted. Ben, so 180 records. So it is assuming that the input is in lowercase and then it gets converted. Yep. So Ben, so it is. So there is search which is happening. So now all we have to do is um, when the input is passed to this D page, right? Before it is passed to the report definition, we have to convert it to lowercase. So what I've done is I've changed the source for this data page from directly giving the report definition to the data transform. Okay. So in this data transform, what I'm trying to do is whatever the search text which comes as a parameter to this data transform, so I'm converting it to lowercase, and I'm calling the same report definition, which is before I call this report definition, the search text is converted to lowercase. And I'm calling the out of the box activity to retrieve report data, which will pass this input in lowercase, and the comparison will happen in lowercase. So now when you try to create, when you try to use whatever case it is, it should work as expected. So Ben, okay, so capital small Ben, if I use it in lowercase, it should work. Okay, so whatever it is, so it is doing a comparison by ignoring the case, and it is working as expected. Okay, so now when we actually see the clipboard, one more thing, one more quick check, what we have to do is see if the data is not getting occupied. Okay, so good, it is whatever is the data before it gets passed to the report definition, it is getting converted to lowercase. Okay, so all fine. So we did this lot of this to ensure that uh, the index is used. Okay, so let me remove the ignore case. Let us remove the ignore case and then try to save. Okay. Uh, this type report should be paginated. Okay, so we can have pagination enabled, so that's not an issue. Okay. Okay. HTML control is used, so we have to make sure the HTML control, wherever it is used, we have to remove it. So yeah, so we can remove this. Name, okay. Okay, two warnings. test case. Okay, merge conflict, that's not an issue. Merge conflict, I just created it another branch, and that's why it's saying there's a merge conflict. No worries. So just a quick check to see if it is working as expected. Let me create a new case and then check if it is working as expected. So let us do a unit test on the data page. Okay, so there is another. Let me remove this. And flush data page. Okay, so it is retrieving data. Okay, so since I've made the pagination as 50, it is returning less number of records. So what we will do is we'll go disable the pagination. Not required for this scenario because it's not used in the UI. Since it is used in the data page, pagination would not make much of sense. So let me run it to quickly see if it is returning more records. The count matches. Yep, count matches. So the data page, did I check the data page? Yeah, data page is working fine. Then the UI also, it should work fine. So yeah, there is a ignore case comparison which is happening. Okay, so it's working fine. But yeah, so all we did this is to ensure the DB table index is used, right? So we had to make sure that DB table index is also added for the quicker search. So what I've done is let me go to the DB. Okay, so I already have this queries, the tables and so on. So what I've done is I've added some of the indexes. Let me drop the index. So these are the three DB table index which is added. So all dropped. So so I've dropped it, and now this is a query which is getting executed. So whatever, if I pass SAR as input, so this is the query which is getting executed. So what I will do is let me do a quick analyze to see um, what is the cost for. If you see, there is 46 milliseconds. It's not a huge amount, but it is still taking 46 milliseconds. And if you see, it's doing a full table scan. Okay, so there's no index scan which is happening. See, the moment we create the DB table index, so let us create this DB table. So all these queries will be part of the link which is given along with this video. So you can find these queries and you can try it out in your uh, local personal edition machine. So I've created the index. If you see, okay, now if you do the explain plan, see the difference, 48 to 0.59 milliseconds, which is, so having the DB table index, if you see that the queries are very fast, right? And we can utilize that performance only when your query is utilizing that index. There is an index, if you don't utilize it, it's waste. So in order to utilize the index, we have to design it properly. We should not ignore the warnings, whatever is given in the report definitions and so on, and then implement it accordingly. Okay, so before I check in, so I just want to explain a couple of things about the ignore case. So we did an ignore case on the report definition, right? The first name I've just did the lowercase. So when I create the DB table index, also what I'm doing is, before the DB table index is created with lowercase. Okay, so whatever, we are not converting the column data into lowercase, but in order to index the data, before the data is indexed, I'm converting it to lowercase. In that way, So I'm doing the comparison using the lowercase as well as the index is creating the lowercase, and the search should, that is how the search is faster. Okay. So this queries, you can find it in the, as I mentioned, in the link and so on. So there are three different indexes which I've added: first name, last name, and this one employee ID, which I've not discussed, but yes, I've added the employee ID also as index for our to do any search on the employee ID. So that's how the analyze is, showing a huge difference, right? 48 milliseconds to 0.6 milliseconds. So when there is a lack record, the DB cable query is very fast. When there are thousands of people accessing, imagine that the same query is executed by at least 100 to 50 people, or even 500 people. The query performance is very quick because it is using the DB table index. At the same time, I'm the I'm using the DB table. If you see that there is a huge difference in the data retrieval too, and you should see the performance of the data page also. It will, when you hit it, it will directly get the data very quickly. A simple requirement you can blow up by just using data page and report definition without taking care of any of the stuffs which was discussed in the video. So the performance application becomes very bad. So even when there are small things which are done, retrieved, and so on, so we have to put a lot of thought process on how effectively or what is the best way of implementing it and so on. So this is the end of this course. As I mentioned, if you like this, I mean the link below this video would have all the things which is required for you to play around. And if at all, if you like this video, just put a comment, or just put a message to me saying that I liked it, I learned a lot, whatever it is. Even if it is negative feedback, please do give me the feedback, and that will help me to put more and more videos. Thank you for your time. Have a great day.